With the Georgia Bulldogs, you're gonna feel the bulldog.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Row 60, a Georgia football podcast. My name is Clark Gaines. Joining me today, as always, Adam Thornton.
Boom! Yes, sir, baby.
Big boom for a big week. This is episode number 117. Your Georgia Bulldogs go on the road to open up SEC play in Knoxville, Tennessee this week. Adam, how are you feeling?
I'm juiced. Go ahead and crank up that dial in your car. 5 more notches. Turn up the little key on the side of your little button, whatever it is, on the side of your phone. Crank that up a couple more notches because it's time now. We've talked about the past couple weeks. SEC play, an SEC opener against a historic rival on the road. It doesn't get better than this, especially with the national media doubting the University of Georgia and Kirby Smart and this football team and the quarterback position. And I love it. Love where the narrative's setting up. Been able to ponder on it the past couple of days, Clark. I'm ready to roll. Let's go.
You know, it's not only the national media that's doubting the Dogs. It's Georgia fans, too.
That's right.
I think there's been a lot of people just like us, Adam, out there, including us. I mean, we've even had our doubts here and there, and it's honestly pretty easy to.
It is.
In these first 2 games to watch and see. It's not really the best that we can do, I think. And obviously our players, our coaches know that, but that's why they're out there this week, hopefully fixing a lot of this stuff and getting prepared for Tennessee and honestly a good Tennessee football team, right?
Yeah, good Tennessee football team, Clark. I mean, really, Josh Heupel's done a great job with that program with his predecessors not being as successful as he has the past few years. What, this is 5th year? Did he come? No. Yeah, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, 5th year. So some good stuff he's done in Knoxville, man. But one thing they hadn't done is be able to move the football on a Kirby Smart, Glenn Schumann defense. You go back and you look at these games, whether they're in Knoxville or in Athens, man, he doesn't score more than 20 points against them. More than 17 points or so. So Kirby and Glenn Schumann have this offensive scheme of Heupel's, who has been very successful against other teams in the SEC and the nation, but not when they come to Athens or Georgia visits Neyland Stadium. And I hope that trend continues this Saturday. I'm ready to see it.
I do kind of have a sick feeling about this game. I know I probably shouldn't. Being a Georgia football fan, you know, especially going up to Neyland, we've seen a lot of games up there, Adam, as you alluded to, where we go in there and take care of business and do it pretty handedly, right? But does it not feel like this game, this situation is just a little bit different?
Yeah, it does. It's got a different feel to it. I think because of where it's at on the schedule as well plays a little bit of a part of it for me because we haven't figured out what this football team's identity is yet. We see that we have a very, very good defense. It's going to be a elite defense. And then, of course, we're still just thinking glass half full optimistically on offense. And then some part of the fan base is glass half full on their thoughts on the offense. But no doubt there's talent there. It's just the lights got to come on and everything click. Yeah. And maybe it will on the biggest stage starting SEC play. But, yeah, Clark, I mean, you think about Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart has been to, you might have this later on in the show, so I'll wait and see. Do you got the notes about Kirby Smart, the past 4 trips to Neyland Stadium coming up?
Yeah.
Then we're going to wait on that and talk about that then. So I'm telling you, I'm juiced. The more I think about it, I'll be honest, Saturday night, Clark, coming home, I got a little sick feeling about what we might be experiencing in Neyland. But the more I think about it, the more as this week progresses, and I just think about history and what this football team is the first couple weeks I've seen and the potential of it and kind of some adversity Tennessee's facing on the injury front and everything. I'm like, look, it's going to be all right.
Yeah, I think you're right, Adam. And we're going to talk it out on this episode. We've got an announcement to make first. We're going to jump into some Georgia versus Tennessee history, talk about the matchup all time, talk about, obviously, this current matchup. We've got some notes about Georgia's offense versus Tennessee's defense and vice versa, Tennessee's offense versus Georgia's defense.
Well, good.
And then we have a pick 'em at the end. And then at the very end, we'll do a score prediction to wrap this thing up. But
let's crank this on up a little bit.
Okay, Adam. All right. Yeah. I love the bleep button there.
Oh, the
internal bleep button. I didn't even have to.
Right.
That's great.
Yep.
I love that.
We're not going to use that type of language on our family-friendly podcast.
You know, I'm very proud of our ability to sit here on these mics week in and week out and not use any profanity.
With the adrenaline just pumping through things. I mean, you don't want to do that. I mean, you could get your point across without profanity.
That's true.
But, man, we kind of have an inside joke with each other.
Oh, yeah.
With some stuff like that and everything. But just really get fired up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Well, anyway, all right. before we get started, we do want to make an announcement, like I just said a few seconds ago. We've got an emergency live call-in show, Adam. Now, an emergency live call-in show is a call-in show that happens the week of the game. That's when we announce this.
Because it's an emergency that we need to do it.
Right. Yeah. So we had thought about doing it, but logistically speaking, we thought it might be tough. But we're like, hey, why not? We want the people want a call-in show. In fact, we polled their patrons. This is why you guys need to be a patron member so you can have voting rights and make decisions.
And a democracy,
yeah,
if you will, here at Row 60. We are all about a democratic government in the sense of democracy.
Right. So we left this up to the patrons. Hey, do we do a call-in show? And if so, when do we do it? And what we've settled on is sometime Friday night, this Friday night, we're probably either going to do it 8:30 or 9 o'clock p.m. That's Eastern time for all of you West Coast folks, for anybody out in Texas or anything, Eastern time. So be on the lookout for that. This will be sort of a stripped down version of our actual call-in shows. We might go for about an hour, and the only reason being is because me and Adam will be up in Tennessee. Live there. We don't even know if the Wi-Fi is going to work great in our cabin that we're staying at. And also, we don't want to wake up the kiddos who are trying to sleep. And there will be three, I think. Three kids in the cabin. So don't want to be too loud. So like I said, we'll go for about an hour. We'll take a few calls here and there. And we'll get everybody's thoughts and their feelings.
Yeah, I mean, we had some stuff transpire. So we want to see what the pulse of the nation is after the Austin Peay game going into the rare opening SEC play against Tennessee on the road in Neyland. So juiced about that, man. And I'm excited we're going to do that. And it's going to be good to gather around and get some input from the people. Because like I said, we're a democracy here at Row 60.
That's right. So once again, if you guys are not on Patreon yet, now's a great week to join because we're going to be releasing a full edit, uncut. I'll say uncut, unplugged,
an acoustic, if you will, stripped down.
Sure, we're gonna have an uncut vlog of our game day experience and of our weekend, and then
I was talking about the call-in show.
Well, you messed me up there.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Sorry.
But we're doing a vlog. Our patrons are getting an uncut version, and then we're going to do sort of a cut-up version for Saturday for everyone that will post to YouTube. So if you want to be on Patreon, if you want to be a Row 60 patron, just visit patreon.com/Row60. It's just $5 a month, and we reinvest every penny into the show to make more content for everybody. So
great. Love it. I'm excited to see the film. That's awesome.
Adam, you are running on fumes. Right quick, I just want you to tell everybody about the past 24 hours.
Oh yeah. So it's been a good time, man. It's been went to work on what's the day? What's
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday night. Yes. So Monday I went to work and we dug a nice ditch for a pool, wiring a pool up in Rabun County, home of Gunner Stockton, the Georgia quarterback. And after that, got some hay baled into the night, and then after that, got a nice supper, went to bed. We got called out for a fire at 2 a.m. Mm-hmm. Got back home about 6:30, just enough time to get a shower and wake the kid up, get her ready for school. And then we went to Greenville, South Carolina, and started wiring a house there. And then came back and here we are.
You had a fire meeting?
Yeah, I hadn't slept in about 21 hours, but I'm juiced. I don't think I would actually be at this level of energy and fired up right now, going on 22 hours of being up straight if it wasn't for Georgia football this week. If this was just a random week in June, I don't think I'd have this energy level. So there's no other substance that's made me kind of just amped, ready to rock and roll right now, right? Clark said, except just the pure adrenaline of knowing that Georgia's going to Knoxville to rip the heart out of those people up there.
I'm proud of you. See, internal bleep button. You got it. I got it. You could have said anything you wanted to there, but I'm proud of you for holding back.
Yeah. But
that was very Christ-like of you, Adam. I'm proud of you. And I'm proud of you for being here and delivering the energy that the people need and that this episode deserves. So
right. We're a fan podcast, and we're going to get juiced about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be good. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk a little history here. Adam, you're the UGA encyclopedia. We are 29, 23, and 2 all-time versus the Vols. Now, up until what? I guess it would have been, what was 6 years ago? Math. 2019-ish season?
Yeah.
Did we ever like have the series in hand? Like, were we ever on top?
I'll tell you the turning point in this series, Clark. If you want to really pinpoint where we still had some bad losses after this one, but where there was a pendulum swing was the last time the goalposts were ripped down at Sanford Stadium. That was in 2000. Jim Donning's last year coaching Georgia when Georgia beat a Philip Fulmer Tennessee team 2 years off of their national championship run in Athens. And ever since then, Hobnail Boot was the next year up in Knoxville. Then you get the monkey off your back of consecutive losses in Knoxville. And then after that, it's been a pattern and a pretty good trend, even though there were some rough years like 06, 07, 09, and 15 or so, beating Tennessee. So that's, I think, really now a quarter of a century has swung in Georgia's way in this series like it has in so many other SEC historic series that we have because of what it started with Mark Richt and his run in the early 2000s, and then Kirby's just turned it into complete domination, man. So, I would go back to really the Georgia-Tennessee game in 2000 is the one that gets me juiced of thinking that's where it swung. You know, all the nightmares of the Peyton Manning, T. Martin, Heath Schuler years that just plagued Georgia fans in the 90s, man, was gone. It was flushed then. And then the Hobnail Boot just cemented it that there's a new program as superior in the SEC.
Yeah. You know, I was watching that 2000 game between Georgia and Tennessee the other night, just highlights of it and everything. And I'd always heard people say, oh, yeah, we tore down the goalpost and everything, ripped up the hedges. And but I didn't realize that was the one and only time that's happened in our school's history, which is very interesting.
What, a 9 or 10 game win streak Tennessee had?
Yeah.
Nine game win streak. So, look, do some math right now, Clark. And you go and you talk to a Georgia fan in the 90s, hated Florida, hated Tennessee, miserable time, man. And, they would just fall short or either get blew out by Tennessee. It didn't matter if it was in Athens or Knoxville. But now you got 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. What's coming up?
That's 9.
25 could be 9 in a row. And you think for all the Georgia fans who have been around remember the 90s, I don't remember it as well. Yeah, and think that's what Tennessee fans are feeling now. Kirby Smart's completely, just flipped this thing. And if we'd already be at 9 if it wasn't for a fluke miracle play. And Kirby Smart would be undefeated against Tennessee, man. And you got to pinch yourself. And even in the early 2000s when it was so big getting wins against them, you never would have thought that you'd see Georgia reel off 8 straight as we have. And in the fashion that Georgia has done it. Yeah. I mean, has any of the 8 been a one-possession football game?
No. Not a single one.
Not a single one. It don't matter if it was in Knoxville or Athens. Not a single game in the last 8 meetings against the University of Tennessee has been a one-possession football game.
That's crazy. Man. That's wild. Yeah, I mean, there's been some close games for sure, but then at the end, as Georgia does in typical Kirby Smart fashion, we pull away in the fourth quarter. We own the fourth quarter.
Look, man, the nightmares, the boogeyman up in the East Tennessee hills, there's no Sasquatch. There's no Bigfoot up there. I mean, I don't care what legends and folklore you hear in Appalachia, America, up in the Smoky Mountains up there, Clark. It ain't all that stuff, right? It ain't that. It's Kirby Paul Smart.
I love that.
Nightmare to Tennessee fans is the University of Georgia. They've got Alabama off their back, but you know who's on their back right now? It's the Georgia Bulldogs, man.
And Kirby Paul Smart.
It's Kirby Paul Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs. That's the one that a lot of fans in East Tennessee, in West Tennessee, even all the way across the state in Memphis, Clark. I mean, a long way away, right? Are talking about this game, thinking, is this the year we finally get Georgia? There's conversations going on in these small Tennessee cafes, man, at the breakfast table. It's like, hey, are you going to go ahead and fork that out just because we might actually get to see Tennessee beat Georgia? Did you see them against Austin Peay? Did you see what Joey Aguilar's doing? Did you see us put 70-plus up against East Tennessee State? Those conversations are happening in that state right now. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, the ones who are smart have a little bit of skepticism about that because they've been burnt one too many times. But children are getting excited. Fans are getting excited out there. College students are getting excited, making their signs out there in their frat rows and thinking about celebration Saturday night and stuff. But still, Georgia is the boogeyman to the University of Tennessee and a nightmare to them at this current moment. And don't forget that as you're feeling nervous going into this game or anything else. Yes, obviously, the past doesn't matter when this particular team in 2025, Clark. But still, there's something that looms when a series is this lopsided. Yeah. And when that red and black with that G is coming into town, going across that Tennessee River in that stadium in Neyland Stadium. Yep. And Kirby Smart's walking out of that locker room.
Oh, man. I love it, man. Yeah, and you're right. I think there's obviously a lot of those conversations happening in those pancake houses and up in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge.
Oh, yeah, they're used about it, Clark.
Yeah.
They're thinking about all-you-can-eat pancake special Sunday morning after,
They're on X, they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram.
It's good.
Yeah, let them talk. I mean, and they honestly, this is Josh Heupel's best shot at Kirby, in my mind.
Yeah.
I really do think that. But despite that, Adam, I think you're right. There's something to Kirby Smart and his ability to shut down this Josh Heupel offense and defense. We always say this. I mean, this is, you've heard this for as long as you've lived, as I've lived, as anyone's lived. Defense wins championships,
that
right?
It does, man.
And if you want to be a championship football team, you got to go into a place like Neyland and you got to shut down what they do best. And what they do best, they run the ball. Now, a lot of people think, they just throw a bunch of shots downfield. Yes, they will take shots downfield. Don't get me wrong. But they, as much as we want to, they want to run the ball and establish that run game for sure. That's
how Georgia and Glenn Schumann and Kirby Smart's defense the past few years since Heupel's been here, the past 4 games in particular, when a lot of them were top 5 matchups, or top 10 matchups. Definitely one was a top 5 matchup. One was against number 1 undefeated Tennessee team,
quote
unquote. And each one of those games that has in common, Clark, is Tennessee couldn't run the football.
Yeah. That's a
and
trend.
When you take away Josh Heupel's ability with that offense, like you just said, you hit the nail on the head. When you take away the run, good things happen.
Right.
And that's what happened in every single one of those games from 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. Tennessee couldn't run the football. They became one-dimensional, and they didn't have the guys. They're arguably one of their best quarterbacks that they've had since, I guess, either Eric Ainge or T. Martin would be Hendon Hooker's, they tell you up there in Tennessee, man.
Right.
And he couldn't beat Georgia with his arm. Now, yes, it has nothing to do with Saturday, but that's exciting to think about, man. That's exciting to think about. There will be a game plan that defensively that Joey Aguilar has never seen a defense like this. That's the stuff you need to be telling yourself, man.
Yeah. We'll get more into the X's and O's in just a second, but that is good stuff, Adam.
A little premature right there.
No, you're good. You're good. I kind of brought that up first, but Georgia, as we said, currently on an 8-game win streak. That's awesome. One more, and I think we tie the series record. Tennessee had a 9-game win streak in the 90s, but we want to make it 9 for sure. Our last loss, once again, that Hail Mary, 2016. I feel like we talk about this game every year. What do you remember? What was your reaction to that game? I don't think I've even heard this story. Like, what did you do up in row 60? I was on the field, but what did you do?
Oh, I was fired up after the Riley Ridley touchdown catch, thinking, man, here we go. Jacob Eason, you're fired up about Jacob Eason. Kirby's first year, we found a quarterback, right? Jacob Eason, beautiful, great ball.
Oh, yeah.
And it's in that touchdown pass by Jacob Eason to Riley Ridley is really forgotten about for obvious reasons after the Josh Dobbs Hail Mary pass. But, it's just like, you got to be kidding me, man.
Yeah.
That year, you knew you weren't a championship team, but it was just frustrating. And then that was 2 in a row against them because, you really lost a late game where you saw a touchdown pass in Reggie Davis' hands dropping Neyland earlier
that was awful.
The year before. So it's just, you got to be kidding me. It was kind of still fresh, the prayer at Jordan Hare.
Yeah.
So, and other games where just Georgia was on the short end of the stick there. And that's all I can remember about it. You got to be kidding me.
I've got an interesting story. I'm not going to talk about it. We'll talk about it later. But, it was crazy, though. That game, I hated that, obviously. I remember looking up into the stands and people just shell-shocked. And you really don't see that in Sanford Stadium, right? No. Georgia fans being stunned about what just happened. There's been a few times, definitely South Carolina 19, and we could rattle off some more. But, that was our last loss, though. 2016, almost a decade ago. It's just crazy. Tennessee this year, coming off of a 10-3 season and a playoff berth, courtesy of a 12-team playoff. Tennessee would have never made it in a 14. They never did make it in a 14 playoff.
Of course they did,
because they weren't good enough. But
of course,
I think last year they, decent team for sure. And Josh Heupel always seems to field a good team, very respectable. You gotta play your best against them, otherwise they can beat you. They start this season 2-0, ranked number 15. Obviously, 2 wins over 1 Syracuse, and then the second game, East Tennessee State University beat the brakes off of them last week. And so, really, though, you look at these 2 games, yes, Syracuse is in the ACC. Yes, potentially they're better than Marshall and or Austin Peay. Probably both of those programs combined. But Syracuse went on the road to Connecticut. Or no, they didn't go on the road. They were in the Dome.
I was in the Carrier Dome?
It was in the Carrier
When Jim
Dome.
Moore Jr. and the Connecticut Huskies came down there for a big Northeastern matchup.
Right. And went to overtime with Connecticut.
Yeah.
And so Tennessee fans, they're all saying, oh, well, Georgia struggled kind of with Marshall and definitely with Austin Peay. I'm not super impressed by their 2 wins either, though.
No. I mean, Josh Heupel against a directional school always puts up 70+, right? And I mean, like you said, that's kind of what that offense caters to. That's what he does. And I've just got to say this, Clark. I really respect Josh Heupel.
I do too.
As far as he's just not hateable, to me, and it's okay if he is to you. Like, we were blessed to have with the Butch Joneses, the Jeremy Pruitt's of the world that used to coach Tennessee, or the Dan Mullins at Florida, right? Or the Urban Meyers. So we've done segments about how it's fun to have a rival coach that just as a person, you just don't really care for how he carries himself.
Right.
And Heupel, man, I don't have any just ill will towards him. I mean, he gets on my nerves a little bit at certain times, and he gets a little bit kind of a little bit too big for his britches sometimes, I think. But all in all, you got to respect what he inherited there and what he's doing with it, right, Clark? So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, once again, always fields a respectable team. Tennessee has not beaten Georgia in Knoxville since 2015, so it's been quite some time. Literally a decade ago is the last time they beat us. And really, it took all we were up, 24-3 at one point in the first half, something like that?
Yeah.
21, something close to that.
Something like that, for sure.
And just let that game slip away. But
a decade ago was the last time.
Yeah.
Do you know, so obviously that was Mark Richt's last trip to Knoxville, even though he had some successful games in Knoxville and he had some, sure enough, just clunkers. I think of 07 and 09, just clunkers, but some dang good memories in 01, 03, 05, and 11 and 13 as well. So he had some good times in Neyland. But do you realize, so Kirby, the next time Georgia goes to Neyland is 2017. So he's been there 4 times. Do you know what the combined score is?
I think I have it somewhere.
And Kirby's 4 trips
I
to
got
Neyland.
it. I got it.
You got it for later. I just wanted to make sure that was listed.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's something that's not pointed out. And it's
crazy.
Fun stuff to unpack. Right?
Well, we're gonna leave it to the end, and that way people have to listen to hear the combined score.
Good. Look, you're either gonna wait and listen, and you can hear it, or you're gonna have to do a lot of Google out of the Safari window to your calculator to get it. So
that's why they create AI, Adam. You can just ask ChatGPT, and it'll give it to you in seconds.
So I can say, ChatGPT, what's the combined score that Kirby Smart has had in his 4 trips to Neyland from Georgia, Tennessee? And
it would probably give you an answer.
Well, I'll be done.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I still wish we could ask Jeeves for stuff. I remember that.
Ask Jeeves, man. Wow, that's ancient. This is Heupel's 5th year. He is 23-4 at home. This is sort of a fun fact here. I'm not doing an official Clark's Fun Facts, but Heupel's 5th year, 23-4 at home. So does really well in Neyland. Two of those losses came from Kirby Smart.
Dang right.
Against Josh Heupel specifically.
That's right.
So 50% of Josh Heupel's losses in Neyland have come to the hands of Kirby Smart. I just think that's really
a great statistic. I hadn't realized that one.
The other 2, do you remember?
Ole Miss,
and then there's one more.
So he got there in 21. They beat them
I'll give you a hint.
They beat Alabama in 22 and 24.
Right.
So the other
I'll give you a hint. ACC school.
ACC school.
ACC. Yeah.
They're still in the ACC.
Yeah. Still in the ACC.
ACC school, man. Let me think. Just real quick.
They're blue and gold.
Cal?
No.
I thought, wait a minute. They did play them back in the day, but that was way back in the day when they played Cal. Blue and gold, ACC school. Beat Heupel.
2021. I got to do a little fact checking. I just got to make sure this is right. You can't look at it. You don't peek. Yeah.
Everybody's just screaming blue and gold. Blue and gold.
I hope they're still in the ACC. Yeah. Wait, let me look up ACC schools. I should know this.
Oh, this is embarrassing.
Oh, I know. Oh no, they're definitely ACC. They always have been.
Pitt?
Yes.
That
Pitt.
is right. Pittsburgh. Yeah.
You remember that game?
They used to be in the Big East. I do remember that game now that you say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
That was wild.
Yeah, I forgot old Pat Narduzzi went up there and popped him one good time up there.
So, anywho.
That's a good stat. That's a good stat.
Yeah. 23-4 at home. Once again, 2 of those losses come from Kirby Smart. That's where we're going. So, we said this earlier. This is Heupel's best shot at Georgia I think he's gotten so far. Clearly, the pressure is on the Georgia Bulldogs this week to go into Neyland and to win. But in the words of a wise man, pressure is a privilege. Adam.
That's right, man. That's right. That's what I say. When you know that you are playing for an elite program that many guys before you came and built that foundation, whether it's been built, when you're going into a place where College Game Day is going to roll in because you're coming to their town and you're going to have a whole lot more people that normally don't come to home Tennessee football games just to witness them play in the University of Georgia, Clark. And you're going to have extra parades and extra just banner, tailgates, everything else, people and droves of people coming in and even not even going to the game just because they want to be around Knoxville just in case Tennessee beats Georgia for the first time in Neyland in a decade.
Yeah.
That's where we're at as a program now. You got to pinch yourself, man.
Yep. We are the boogeyman.
Yeah, we are the boogeyman. Appreciate those things, man. Instead of arguing about our freaking quarterback and Mike Bobo and Kirby Smart and being ungrateful about that, think about where this program is right now and has been for the past handful of years or, heck, 7-8 years. And then think about it if you were around when, like, we went up there in 2009, Clark, and Lane Kiffin ran the same 3 routes at 3 different levels of the secondary against the Willie Martinez defense. And we never adjusted and got boat raced up there for 2 times in a row in 07, 09. And think about where we're at now. Yeah. That's right. That's my message.
Yeah. I love it, Adam. I love it. Glass half full always here on Row 60. We're not going to be any negative Nancy's.
Whoa, man.
And we're not going to be negative about our Georgia offense on this episode.
No, we're not.
We are going to talk about, let's move to the offensive side of the football, talk about Gunner, talk about Mike Bobo, and what we have to do offensively to get the ball rolling, get the ball moving, move the chains, and score some points in Neyland. Adam, I think now more than ever, this is pretty obvious stuff. We have got to run the ball effectively, especially between the tackles, right? We have got to open up some gaps, and that really obviously starts up front with our offensive line. But we've got to have our backs just shoot those holes and get those 3, 4, 5 yards of pop and move the ball on the ground, because what that does is 2 things. If you do that consistently, that obviously opens up the rest of your playbook, but 2, that kind of drains off the clock. And this is one of those kind of games, man, you want to wear down Tennessee's defensive line here in this game. You want to be able to drain some of the clock and just get out of there alive kind of a game. That's what this game feels like to me. It's just one of those survive and advance. Get in, get out as quickly as possible, get the win.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if we can just muster up getting over 20 points, I feel like we're going to be good. I do not see this Tennessee offense, and I might eat crow about it, putting up over 17 points against this rendition of Georgia's defense. That just seems like it's going to be one of the better ones we've had in the past couple of years, in my opinion. I mean, it's nasty. It's going to be one of the best in college football, no doubt. And I think you just hit everything nail on the head there, Clark. You have got to be able to run the football. And I think people are going to be in their cars or wherever they're at listening to this in front of their computers screaming at me and calling me an idiot for saying this, because it's popular and it's been popular for the past 16, 17 games to bash the offensive line, that I still have hope that this offensive line, man, can really gel and the right guys get healthy, keyword there, healthy, and the right young talent come and mix with the right veteran talent, and you get them in the right spots, and you could really see Georgia pound the football. Yeah. And I think you're going to have some of that, some guys that didn't play last week or guys who got some more reps last week, kind of get in the right spots through what they've been repping in practice this week, and have a chance, I think, against a defensive line for Tennessee that I feel like is a little bit deflated. I know they've got 2 cornerbacks or 2 starting cornerbacks that are, but I think I read somewhere that the D-line is a little bit deflated as well. You could get in there, man, and you could go and impose your will. I mean, that's what I want to see. That's what I love. I love nothing more Georgia football offensively than imposing your will, death marches on the ground. I want to see that so bad again.
Yeah. But here's the thing on the flip side, Tennessee's run defense, I think, has, according to what people say out there, has been massively improved ever since Tim Banks took over up there as DC. And, they do a good job stopping the run. But once again, it goes back to this. You've got to just force it on them, right? Like you have got to find a way to run the ball between the tackles. It cannot simply be Gunner pulling it, getting 3 yards here and there, 4 or 5. Like we've got to use our running backs. Thankfully we've got a good rotation of running backs as well. You got Frazier, you got Bowens, you got Dwight Phillips Jr. There's a lot of different ways we can get them the football. But running it, man, here's the thing. Take this to the bank. The team who has the most rushing yards will win this game 10 out of 10 times.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to be able to stop the run, and then you got to be able to run the football on offense. But, yeah, I just think you brought that up about Tim Banks. I think he's done a great job at Tennessee. Heupel's done a good job of, as an offensive-minded head coach, hiring the right guys defensively and during his tenure to have an improved Tennessee defense. But I think they're taking a step back this year. Yes, I think it's a bad omen for if you want to just look at Tennessee in a negative light for the past couple games to start the season. Giving up 26 points to a bad Syracuse offense would be, if I was a Tennessee fan, a little bit worrisome if you're looking at the negatives there. So I think we're going to be able to have some success on the ground. It's all going to be about establishing a running game. And I think we're going to see Gunner run it more. A lot of people talked about last week, Clark, why did Gunner not run the ball as much? And I kind of have a theory, and I might be completely wrong on it.
Okay,
I think that this is going to be a long college football season, and I think there might be games where it's not part of the game plan for your quarterback to tuck the football and run it.
Wow.
So, I mean, you don't want them to get them banged up and stuff. And then I think there's sometimes maybe, just maybe, certain game plans and certain schemes that they get thrown at defensively that – hey, in certain tendencies on tape, you might see them tuck it and run it a little bit more, right? In situations where you need to be running the football.
Man.
At the quarterback spot.
Yeah.
So maybe there might not be as many idiots in Athens on the offensive staff as we think that coming out of this week that we see. I say we think as in the general pulse of the fan base right now, the average fan base, right? So
I'm sorry.
That's just my opinion. And I'm not going to claim to be the smartest guy, so I think we can see Gunner get some yardage with his legs, but we're going to have to be able to push the ball downfield too, and that's what a lot of the fans have been really wanting. And I think it's got to be done for sure. And I think we'll see it. I really do.
Yeah. And in any game, you got to protect the ball. You got to protect the ball. You got to protect the quarterback in this situation. We can't just get blindsided. Gunner can't. I say we can't get blindsided. Gunner can't get blindsided, so we're going to need some really good play from our tackles. And then I think, too, another thing, and thankfully this has been good, except for last week before halftime, our red zone offense. We have got to punch the ball in for 7.
You dang right, baby.
That is super, super important on these kinds of games. You got to punch the ball in and get all 7 points, not 3. You can't settle when you get in that red zone.
Yeah, get the ball distributed to different places. You've got to be able to throw the football as well, Clark, or they're going to stack the box against you and tee off on Gunner and stop the running game. So, of course, that common sense football IQ, you got to be able to stretch the field to be able to loosen that box up a little bit. You're going to have a Tennessee defense, even with backup cornerbacks, they're going to be at SEC level play. They're going to play a whole lot more tighter coverage. So maybe the check down routes that we were all complaining about in the fan base last week aren't going to be there because it's going to be more talented athletes out that can match one-on-one against these Georgia receivers in SEC play that, the FCS team wouldn't be able to do that, right? So, but I still think there'll be times there that you're going to be able to utilize bubble screens, good perimeter blocking. And one thing too, Clark, interesting. Here's another fact. Last week against Austin Peay was the first time a Georgia tight end has not got a reception in 56 games.
That's crazy that you say that because I didn't hear of that stat. But I was thinking last week, I'm like, something's missing. Like I don't know what it is. Something's missing. And that was it. Yeah. We didn't throw it to a tight end. 100% we're throwing to tight ends this week.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna target several times. I mean, I think you have to. And that's, tight end, man, they're so versatile, especially when you got a guy like Oscar Delpin Lawson Lucky. If you got a guy like Brock Bowers, I mean, you're really cooking. But you get those two guys involved in the passing game, play action pass, right? Yeah. They're big bodies, man. Typically, like you're not going to put somebody that's super quick on one of them. I mean, you'll typically dedicate either a star or mainly a linebacker sticking on them. But man, that they can be so effective in a play action passing game. And I think for Gunner, like that's a big target, right? Thankfully, we've got Colby Young. Noah Thomas he's a little bit bigger, but we've got some big bodies out there. And yeah, you got to find them, hit them across the middle, and let them get some yak.
That's right, man.
So
let it rip. Let it rip. You went out, you spent this much money on a receiver room, and having a quarterback like Gunner Stockton with the skill set, the selflessness that he is, Clark, in this day and age of college football, has allowed you to go get those weapons for him because of where NIL is and everything, that you don't have to go get a $3 million quarterback. You go get these weapons. So now let's get that offense mixed together and go into Neyland and get it done, man. Yeah. So,
get the ball to the playmakers for sure. And
I'm anxiously excited.
I am too. I'm cautiously Wait, what is that?
That's right.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yes, cautiously optimistic.
There you go.
There we go. Juiced about it, man.
But yeah, we're going to throw some screens. I don't think that's out of the playbook necessarily. That's something that we've
it shouldn't.
No, we'll definitely throw some screens, but we're setting up some of those, what do they call it, delay release kind of passes. Yeah. Tight end goes to block the corner and fades off in the distance, and Gunner can hit those guys. I think this week we will see those deep shots taken. I know everybody's arguing, why is Gunner not looking downfield, yada yada yada. I don't know. And the only people that do know, Gunner, Mike Bobo, Kirby, the whole offense staff, they know. The receivers know. And they've gotten it fixed this week. But Gunner, he has got to look downfield and just take some shots, because you're right. We don't want them to stack the box and play too tight on us.
Yeah, I mean, one thing, Clark, like we mentioned last episode, and like anybody with two eyes could see, there were opportunities to hit explosives downfield. It wasn't play calling. It was the fact we didn't execute. We beat that like a dead horse. But this week's different. Maybe there's some more cohesiveness along the offensive line with guys coming back from injury and other guys getting some reps, and just see if that right group just gels together, man, and see what we could do. If Gunner gets a little bit better protection. Also, if you get them, kind of roll them out in the pocket in some areas, maybe some plays, some packages we haven't seen yet, because yes, there's still, even though there's execution problems, still some vanilla play calling involved there that I think there's going to be some stuff that we haven't seen, some wrinkles, man. So but I think there'll be more utilization this week, kind of what we saw in the first couple of drives of the Marshall game, with maybe some speed options, zone reads that's going to keep Tennessee's defensive line honest with the threat that Gunner could do with his legs too as well. So
for sure.
I'm excited about it. I'm fired up about it. Let's let it rip. Get behind this offense.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the other side of the football. Georgia's defense versus Tennessee's offense. Tennessee obviously lost a good bit of production last year. They lost Nico, which is hilarious. Dylan Sampson, one of Tennessee's best, maybe arguably the best running back in Tennessee football history. Dante Thornton is going to the NFL. Brew McCoy, Squirrel White. I mean, that was their top three receivers right there. So they lost a good bit, but they do have some key pieces back. I think Brazelton and there's a sophomore Matthews. I don't know. But they've got some decent receivers for sure.
Yeah.
They always do, especially under Josh Heupel.
Right.
Obviously, Joey Aguilar, transfer quarterback. Where did he come from again?
Appalachian State.
That's right.
But oddly enough, he started at UCLA.
That's
it's
it.
Like
yeah,
so
switch. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, man. So I think an Aguilar was not definitely one of the first handful of choices that they wanted after the whole Nico debacle to come in. So I think he was 5th or 6th on Tennessee's wish list. I could be wrong on that, but he's come in, and I felt like, give the kid credit. The first couple of weeks, and who cares who the competition is in this sense? He's shown some life about him, and some a spark for that offense and some excitement with how that Nico thing transpired and how he's played, making plays with his legs as well, and also pushing the ball downfield with some nice passes in both games as well.
He's hit a couple of really big deep balls. I know he did in Syracuse. My gosh, I mean, he can throw it. And you're right, Adam. Man, his legs. I think he's more mobile than Nico ever was. I mean, Nico was, and really that offense isn't necessarily designed for quarterback runs specifically. But Joey Aguilar, if he doesn't see it, man, it's like Gunner. He's going to take off and run, and it's hard to get him down for sure.
Yeah, if you let him break containment. You know? And
the good thing is for Georgia, though, much like our offensive line, I think theirs is pretty inexperienced. They lost, I think, pretty much everybody across the board on their line. I could be wrong about that, but most everybody on their line last year, their starters, their veterans, are gone now. And so this is an inexperienced offensive line for them. And if you're Georgia, that bodes well, right? Because this plays to our strengths. Our front seven, man, they're going to eat. We got to get to Joey Aguilar. We cannot let him break out of the pocket and beat you with his legs.
Yeah, absolutely, Clark. Being able just to let our edge guys, Gabe Harris, man, Quintavious Johnson, those guys just get out there and eat and collapse that pocket on Joey Aguilar. First and foremost, the elephant in the room, stop the run. You stop the run. That's the key to success. Make Joey Aguilar beat you with his arm. Make a Sun Belt quarterback making his first start against a caliber of defense like the Georgia Bulldogs, even if it is at home, make him be the guy who beats you, not Heupel being able to get comfortable and balanced with his play calling and them being able to control the game on the ground. Make them not be able to move the football between the tackles or on the perimeter, man. And I think that's what's exciting about the athleticism and the speed of this Georgia front seven and secondary, but just front seven is built, Clark, to absolutely make Tennessee's offense and Josh Heupel's Dave just miserable. With the athleticism and the size and what we got there this year appears to be. Yeah,
front seven is crucial in stopping the run, but then obviously, I mean, this is no like an epiphany or anything for anybody, but the secondary, right? You go back to that 22 game, man. Who stood out? I want to ask you, who stood out on the defense?
On the defense?
Yeah. Like name a couple of guys who just, wow, they stood out.
Keeler Ringo had an interception.
Yeah.
Javon Bullard.
Javon Bullard,
I mean, yeah.
Had a game of his life.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
And that my point here is that star position, and this really the safety position, the corners play a huge role. Tennessee, man, they spread you out off 52, 53 yards wide.
Yeah.
And
wide splits, man.
Yeah, very, very wide. They're going to use all the real estate on the field available to them and make you run around the field and chase them. And that's what they do. They run a ton of screens. Yeah. And so if you're a corner, if you're Daylen Everett has to have the game of his life. You've got to, hit that outside shoulder, work everything back into the field to your linebackers, to your defensive line, to your safeties. You got to be able to do that. Thankfully, Daylen has proven that he can. He had a great game against Tennessee last year as well. But man, we got to have a big game from our secondary. Not necessarily getting beat deep, right? Like that's obviously we don't want to do that. But I'm talking about those little pop passes, the slants. They throw a lot of slants. We play a lot of man coverage. It's easy to throw a slant on man coverage. So we got to play really tight.
I get what you're saying. Playing assignment football.
Yeah.
Being able to, if you got to release a guy and pick up another one, being able to do that, because Tennessee does a lot of that in hopes of, with you said, those wide splits that they have with their wide receivers, man, is being able to run a bunch of, mesh concepts and everything in the sense where trying to create some undisciplined stuff in the secondary, man, where they really scheme guys wide open. I think they've been, that way in the past. But Kirby and this defensive staff throughout the years against them has done a very good job, again, of secondary stepping up the play and matching up with these wide receivers who have gave the whole league fits up until that point because we usually played them later in the year, man. Yeah. So, I agree 100% with that take.
I'm interested, too, to see who we put on Chris Brazzell. I didn't realize this. He's 6'5", and pretty good receiver, man. Big body. That's kind of their go-to guy, I'm pretty sure. So who do you put on him? Do you put Daylen, or do you say, hey, like, not Tyreek Stevenson, Daniel Harris?
Daniel Harris.
This is your time to shine, buddy.
And then Ellis Robinson, man. I mean, he had his first career interception, I guess it had to have been, last week. So, I mean, just building that confidence more and more, living up to the 5-star hype that he is, man. And then you can rotate Daniel Harris in there. And one thing about, you talked about that star position, Clark. I really like Jonell Aguaro in the sense of his physicality to be able to come up with, if you have just screen plays, being able to bust that up and, of course, come downhill and run defense, but might be a little bit, sometimes you get a little bit iffy as far as pass coverage and everything with him, but I still like him in that position as well. So you have now that what we used to not have, but we've had the luxury of it the past few years, is those big body cornerbacks who are athletic, who can run with these receivers and cause havoc against this Tennessee team.
Mm-hmm. KJ's got to have a big game. I mean, everybody has to have a big game, obviously. But, I mean,
Kyron Jones, man, that other safety position. 2 starts in a row.
Thomas.
I mean, you get him. Adrian Maddox is a guy that's rotated in, but I'm assuming that since we saw him 2 weeks in a row starting, that Kyron Jones and his club is going to be out there lined up opposite of KJ Bolden.
Let's just hope the ball is not thrown his way and he's got a perfect maybe he can one-hand it. I don't know. Yeah, the club, man, that's crazy that he's been playing with that, but good on him. Raylan and CJ, we got to have a big game from everybody. We got to have a big game from our fans.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody involved. But Raylan and CJ, they got to step up this week specifically. They've done a great job this year, but, I mean, this is when everything's laid out for you, and you just got to go do the dang thing.
Oh, man, I couldn't be more confident in this just front seven. The Christian Millers, the Jordan Halls, man, Elijah Griffin getting his first taste of a hostile environment. So I'm just confident in that, man. Unless we turn the ball over on offense or we just make stupid penalties as far as like 3rd and long situations where Aguilar just throws up prayers and we get, those defensive pass interference calls on like 3rd and longs that when they just throw balls up to try to draw it, just extend drives that just tick you off.
And they'll do that.
And that will happen. So if you eliminate that stuff, be able to win the field position, man, and not give them short fields by turning the ball over on offense, then they're not scoring over 17 points, Clark.
Yeah.
I'm putting
it's going to be tough, too,
They're not scoring over 17 points against this Georgia defense.
I love the confidence in that. I'm with you. I mean, Georgia's defense is what's going to keep Georgia in this game to begin with, right?
That's that offense's kryptonite.
Yeah.
And, yes, we've only seen Georgia's defense play against 2 lesser opponents, but still, it's there. The eye test pass, and the proof is in the pudding with these guys who have come back, and I just don't see Tennessee's offense where they're at matching up well against this Georgia defense.
Yeah.
It's going to just come down to just playing disciplined football. And one thing I feel like Georgia has done well the past couple games, even, if we've seen some execution problems on the offensive side of the football, is play clean football games.
Right.
As far as not seeing a lot of yellow hankies out on the field as well.
And that's really my next point, and we'll kind of move on here from the defense. But penalties, Adam, this is one of my notes. Penalties will play a major role in this game. It's going to be interesting to see how well our offensive line, pretty inexperienced offensive line, will be able to communicate, how Gunner's going to be able to communicate with these guys. It's going to be really, really loud. We all know this. Tennessee fans are going to bring the juice, no doubt about it. And so, we gotta eliminate as many of those false starts as we can. Those are going to happen. I'd put money on it. We're going to see a couple, but hold your water, as old Tommy Welch used to say back in the day.
There you go, hold your water. So, I mean, I thought about this too. I was texting my buddy Adam, and he was in the group chat talking about it. He actually is up there in Tennessee, right in the middle of the enemy territory. And I was asking him how he felt about it. He's got some Tennessee connections, and they're feeling a little bit worried in the sense on defense for them, which I think bodes completely well with where Georgia is right now, is they're playing the most zone than they have in 3 years.
Wow.
Because of where they're at.
In the
secondary.
Yeah.
And also, Clark, too, they're not high on their pass rush right now. They don't think they get the quarterback.
Well, you lose, what's his name? Pierce, James Pierce. You remember him last year?
Yeah, I remember the
people
kid,
are screaming it right now.
Yeah.
James Pierce Jr.
Pierce, yeah, that's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
They lose him, and that's one of their best pass rushers probably in Tennessee history.
So
right
if that bodes true, man, then that's just what this offense, just what the doctor ordered.
Hopefully.
Potentially. I mean, hopefully, I'm not going to put the cart before the horse on that right there. But I'm just saying, just stuff of what you hear. I get more and more confident about this football game after what I was feeling last Saturday night.
Well, good. Yeah. Both teams have yet to allow a sack this year. So Adam, who is going to get to the quarterback most often? And I've got to believe
Gabe Harris, baby.
I got to believe Gabe Harris. Chris Cole's going to give him a sack. Elijah Griffin may get his nose in there. Kristen Miller, I don't know, but we got to cause some havoc and get in the backfield, and that's a great way to
2019 Eric Stokes strip sack, cornerback blitz.
Gosh,
and take it to the house.
You'd have a heart attack.
There's nothing more exciting in football than that right there.
Than a strip sack, but then when you return it for 6, oh my God.
Not just a strip sack. It's the chess match of love and defensive football of a perfectly timed cornerback blitz that blindsides a quarterback and the ball just pops loose.
What was great about that play specifically, He didn't come from the blind side.
I know he did. He leveled them straight up.
Yeah.
Didn't he? But traditionally, it's from the blind side,
Oh, yeah.
and you just see the ball just pop out 10 yards, because the quarterback's usually in his throwing motion, and you get him right there, perfectly timed. So that's my favorite play. That's the one that gets me juiced in football right there.
The problem with this Tennessee offense, it's so rare that happens because the corners are split out so wide. Yeah. But if they're on the hash,
great point.
If they're on the hash, short side of the field, that's when you could see that.
Great point.
I mean, that's what we did against Texas last year. Dalen Everett, we had a perfectly timed cornerback blitz from Dalen, popped the ball out. Quinn Ewers. I mean, early in the game, you could see that.
Yeah,
I think though, if you're Georgia, you can afford to play aggressively here because we do have the Jimmies and the Joes in our secondary. Though they have not been tested, I don't think yet, at least this season. I still think you can rely on them and bring some heat.
And how great of a blessing would it be for this offense, where it is right now and where everybody's talking about, to just have some defense create some turnovers and get them in some short field position, especially early in the game, and be able to drive and get 7 and kind of just build some confidence up and everything.
Yeah.
And kind of take that crowd out of it a little bit. That would just be what the doctor ordered, is some early turnovers inside Tennessee's own territory, man, and get this Georgia offense working with the short field and see what they could do.
Yeah.
Punching in.
All right. So just a few more notes here. And this is really my thing here. Like, here's my line of thinking.
What's your line of thinking? Give it to me, Clark.
Tennessee's offense excels when they have better athletes than the opposing team. They do, right? I mean, no doubt about it. East Tennessee State, it's a shining example of that last week. Bless their hearts. I mean, Tennessee obviously has better athletes than them. Tennessee has better athletes than Syracuse does on defense. Does Tennessee have better athletes than the University of Georgia's defense?
No.
I don't know. We'll find out Saturday. No. I tend to believe no. Not saying that Tennessee doesn't have good athletes, but Georgia's are just elite defensively. And with that said, right, with when you do have better athletes than the opposing team, if you're Josh Heupel, it's much easier for your scheme to kind of take over and just out-scheme teams. But I don't think that's going to be the case. You got to out-physical Georgia. You can't just outsmart them in this game. You got to out-physical them. Look at the 2 teams that Georgia, or 3 teams last year who beat Georgia. Notre Dame, they played more physical than us. Right. Ole Miss played more physical than us.
Yeah.
Alabama, I would say at least for a half, played way more physical than us.
Got a blitzkrieg in the first half against Alabama. Absolutely.
And so
lost the line of scrimmage.
Scheme is one thing, man, but you've got to be more physical than Georgia if you want to win this game. And so we'll find out Saturday. I don't know for sure what's going to happen, but once again, this is why I tend to lean Georgia's going to be okay in this game, because we do have the Jimmies and the Joes to win.
Yeah, I mean, if we see this front 7 of what it's been hyped up to be and where we think it's going to be at, and you don't win the line of scrimmage on that side of the football, and then we lose on the opposite side of the football, and obviously going to lose the game if that happens, then we really need to take a deep dive on what we're going to be expecting the rest of the year if that happens this week, I believe.
Yeah.
So, very confident in Georgia winning the line of scrimmage. Like you said, Georgia's just built on a disciplined, athletic defense, and when you have the combination of those 2 things, Clark, then I just don't see Josh Heupel, this Tennessee offense led by Joey Aguilar, just really moving the football on this.
We'll find out.
Just don't see it, man.
Yeah, we'll find out. That's why you play the game. All right.
For the moment, a lot of crow to eat if that's, but I'm sticking to my guns with it.
That's it. The moment we've all been waiting for. Here's the combined score from Kirby's last 4 trips to Neyland Stadium: 163-41. Guys, that's a lot. That's a lot to not so much. 163-41 past 4 trips to Neyland. That's the combined score. And, this is one of those games, though.
Say it again.
Okay. 163-41. I do think this is one of those things, though, one of those kind of games, you got to throw this kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it makes it's just fun to bring up.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it doesn't mean anything about Saturday, but it's just fun to say. I mean, God.
It is wild.
That's a 122-point differential?
Yeah.
Georgia scored as many points as Tennessee has in all 4 meetings. Scored the same amount of points Tennessee has in all 4 meetings in 2017, and the first one of this statistic when Georgia shut them out 41-0.
Yes, I see what you're saying.
Did I explain that right?
Yeah. Yes. In 2017, Tennessee scored just as many points as they have
No, Georgia scored in 2017 41 points, and that is just as many as Tennessee scored against Georgia's defense in the 4 meetings that Kirby has had in Knoxville. That's what I'm saying.
Wow. That's crazy. That is a Clark's fun fact if I've ever heard one. Jeez Louise. Yeah, hopefully we can pile on some more points. And wouldn't it be great? What if we got that 163 number to 200?
Well, yeah, I mean, you average that out. It's like got to be something like 38 to 14, 38 to 17, something like that.
So if we put up 37, we hit 200 points in 5 trips.
If we put up 37,
we're winning.
I'm running up and down the stands. I'll tell you that right now.
Let me ask you this. How many points does it take for Georgia to win this game?
24.
24. You feel good about that?
If we're at 24, that's crazy to think of this day and age of college football. But this particular game now, and then we'll evaluate it after. How we get that 24 for this week, it doesn't matter, whatever. Right. But then we'll evaluate after that. But I feel good if Georgia gets to 24 points in Neyland Stadium. But to get with clean football play on offense.
Sure.
Yeah,
that's true.
Turn the ball over a couple of times because I feel like if you do not play clean offensive football, then I think that's how Tennessee has their chance to get over the 20-point mark. But if you play clean offensively and don't give Tennessee any short fields or anything, then I'm talking big. I just don't see more than 17 points scored by this Tennessee offense.
We'll see.
Watch it, P. No. All right. Just going with that.
I love it. All right. Well, we'll save our score prediction till the end, but let's go to some week 3 games. We've got to pick them here at Row 60, the podcast. Obviously, we have our Pick 'em League. Don't forget, if you are in our Pick 'em League, don't forget, this is your reminder, your weekly reminder to go make your picks. I'm doing okay in that. I think you said you were doing all right.
Nah. Yeah.
Still a lot of football to be played. So but go make your picks, everybody. So on this episode, we've got let's see, 6 games here. Let's start with
good slate.
Yeah, let's start with Clemson at Georgia Tech. Number 12 Clemson goes into Bobby Dodd. Noon kickoff, guys. ESPN. Clemson right now is only favored by 3.5 points, and there's a good reason that number is so small. And Adam, I'm just going to go ahead and say this, and I hate saying this. I hate both of these teams. I wish a meteor would strike Bobby Dodd Stadium.
This is the meteor game.
This is a quintessential meteor.
Definition of a meteor game.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm going to go with Tech.
All right.
Outright.
Yeah. I mean, I could see how that 100% can happen. And I think just to kind of be different, I'm going to go with Clemson. Maybe Clemson's going to be in trouble this year if there's not a big offensive wake-up call in Atlanta this week. Yeah, and it might not be there. It might be that Cade Klubnik is that overrated, and the fact that they have a wide receiver and their number one wideout is out with injury. They have a wide receiver at starting running back that Dabo thought that he could just transition seamlessly in the running game, just click on all cylinders. So yeah, Clemson doesn't have a running game, and Cade Klubnik has not been able just to carry everything, the offense on his shoulders without all that. So, Tech could definitely win, but I'm just going to go with maybe Clemson having a little bit of life and Clemson's defense stopping Haynes King. Maybe I could be. I don't know.
We'll see.
Like I said, hope a meteor hits the 50-yard line.
Yeah, me too. Nobody gets hurt, but
both loses. Hands out both L's.
Yeah, I like that. All right, number 18, South Florida, the Bulls.
Yes.
After their big win in the Swamp, they're going to another big-time environment. Hard Rock Stadium, Adam. They travel to Miami and take on the number 5 Miami Hurricanes at 4:30 this Saturday on the CW network.
All right, the CW, baby. The CW.
I don't know what the CW is.
College football's most elite games week in and week out are played on the CW.
They got a big one here. I mean, this one is going to be an interesting matchup. Miami right now is currently favored by 17.5 points. Now, look, last week I took South Florida to cover, and I might just take them again this week. 17.5, that's a lot of points. Now, I know Miami, I would venture to say they're much, much better than Florida right now.
Right.
But, man, there's something to the South Florida team that I really like, and I might have to do a little parlay here. I'm going to take Miami outright, but I will take South Florida with the points.
I agree with that. I think it's going to be hard coming off an emotional big win in Gainesville to turn around, go on the road against another in-state big boy conference opponent in the state of Florida and do it again. Replicate that, right, Clark? But I think South Florida can afford to lose this game to Miami and, win out in their conference and be the Group of 5 playoff team. I think they're the early favorite in the clubhouse to be the the Group of 5 representative come December. So I think at this point they are a good football team. And you know the thing about it, I don't even think they played to their best potential against Florida and still beat them. Still beat them. It's not like they just played out of their minds against Florida and just went in there and just shell-shocked Florida because of just how elite football they played. I still think that Alex Golish's Fighting Bulls had more potential than what they did against Florida in the Swamp, and still won, man. So, yeah, I mean, that's going to be a fun game to watch, and I'm pulling for South Florida to have a good year. And Alex Golish is a name to watch. Talking about Josh Heupel offense, a student of Josh Heupel's, and one who is going to be, I think, high on coaching search boards at the end of the year.
For sure. All right, let's go to an SEC matchup here. We got Arkansas, Sam Pittman traveling to Oxford, Mississippi. Ole Miss, number 17 Ole Miss, by the way. 7 o'clock ESPN in Vaught-Hemingway Stadium. Ole Miss is favored by 6.5 points. That's an interesting spread. You would figure this might be a little bit more, especially being in the confines of Oxford, Mississippi. But, Adam, who are you taking here? Are you going to pull an upset? I mean, some people are putting Ole Miss on upset alert. I don't know. I didn't get to watch Arkansas first 2 weeks, but
yeah, I mean, I think they did their job last week against Arkansas State in Little Rock. Yeah, I mean, the first time they ever played Arkansas State.
Really?
So, I mean, yeah, it was a historic game, and Arkansas went in, did what they had to do against Butch Jones' Sunbelt Red Wolves team and War Memorial. And so, yeah, I mean, what's his name? Taylor Green, quarterback for Arkansas. You know, kind of a veteran guy now in the sense, a very athletic guy. And I think Austin Simmons, is that Ole Miss's quarterback's name?
Yeah, number 13,
Simmons,
right? Yeah. No, I thought he got hurt. I'm pretty sure he got hurt last week against Kentucky, yeah.
Like, missing the game?
Mm-hmm. It looked bad. I'm almost positive. Yeah. You want me to check?
Yeah, because that's going to dictate a lot about what I say about
Austin
this.
Simmons injury.
He is.
I'm almost positive I saw that on, like, SEC injury update. Lane Kiffin shares latest. All right, we're all going to learn about this.
Oh, good. That's what we want.
He was able to go back in. They taped it up, and he was cleared to go back in.
Well, good. We don't want nobody to be hurt. So Austin Simmons will be on the field in Knoxville Saturday night. A guy who has, I think, a high ceiling, but just not there yet. Ole Miss's defense, especially the defensive line, is not what it was last year by any means. Kind of struggled with Kentucky and Lexington. A kind of dead duck Kentucky team.
Are you going to do it?
Give me Sam Pittman.
Okay.
And Bobby Petrino's high-flying Arkansas offense. Just give me the Hogs to upset Lane Kiffin in Oxford, Mississippi.
Definitely pulling for Sam Pittman. Arkansas would you would say like maybe your secondary SEC team if somebody held a gun to your head or something.
Yeah.
I'm going with Ole Miss just because this is in Oxford.
Smart.
Smart. We'll see. But I do like the pick of Arkansas, and I would love to see it, man. That would be fun.
Yeah.
All right, another SEC matchup. We got Florida at number 3, LSU, 7:30 ABC. LSU is favored by 7.5 points here. Man, a lot of these games, man, like especially looking at how Florida played last week, you would assume this would be a much bigger spread in favor of LSU. But Vegas,
parity, baby.
They're saying, hey, this still might be kind of an equal matchup, a one-possession game here. So, you're taking Brian Kelly, you're taking Billy Napier.
Billy Napier is a dead man walking.
Okay.
And I like Billy Napier. I like his character.
Yeah.
And I love what he's doing with the Florida football program. So I like the man that he is in all seriousness and also the coach that he is at Florida. So I wish they give him a lifetime contract.
Me too.
He's another one of those coaches. You just can't hate Billy Napier like you could Dan Mullen. I mean, you got to respect the guy. But do you think the troops rally? DJ Lagway and the boys rally for Sunbelt Billy?
Even if they do, they got to walk into Death Valley.
At night?
And I'm not, at night.
Yeah, no. LSU wins this football game.
Yeah, sure.
If Florida would have took care of business like they did and DJ Lagway would have looked impressive against South Florida last Saturday, then this would be a whole lot more of an intriguing football game. But, hey, it's the SEC. You don't know week to week, especially when the team's in wounded animal mode, Clark.
Yeah.
But LSU looked lackluster against their who'd they play?
Against their nobody. Oh, they played Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, directional. A technological institution. So, yeah. But, I think it was coming off a big win at Clemson, and I think they'll be ready to roll. And Death Valley at night, I'm not betting against LSU. Give me LSU.
LSU at night, man, by 10 for sure.
Yeah.
All right, number 16, Texas A&M at number 8, Notre Dame. Fun, sneaky game. I don't think a lot of people are talking about this one. 7:30 NBC Peacock.
On the Peacock.
Notre Dame, bye week, coming off a bye week, which is really interesting. You play a game, then you rest.
Yeah.
And then you go back into your gauntlet. They take on Texas A&M. Who do you like here, Adam? I think Notre Dame, by the way, is favored by 6.5.
Right. I think, Notre Dame was tested, lost a tough game at Hard Rock Stadium, opening Sunday night of the year. And it definitely doesn't look as good as they did last year. Young quarterback, but it's at home. Texas A&M hasn't looked very impressed with me the first 2 weeks. I think it's been very hard for them to get it going, and they've got it going a little bit more against their lesser opponents later in the game, both times, I believe. And I think Notre Dame's going to win this game.
I do too. I haven't really got to watch Texas A&M yet, so yeah, I'll stick with the Notre Dame too. I think that's a safe play, and Vegas also thinks that, so why not? All right, last but certainly not least,
yes,
we've got Clark Lee versus Shane Beamer. Vanderbilt is going to Willie B to play the number 11 South Carolina Gamecocks. Carolina is favored by 5.5 points. 7:45 SEC Network. This will kind of be a fun nightcap game. You've got Florida, LSU. You've got a lot of games. Bam, 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 bam. Arkansas, Ole Miss, Florida, LSU, Texas A&M, Notre Dame, Vanderbilt, and South Carolina. This is where you need the split screen.
Oh, you do, man. Sneaky, great week.
Oh,
great
yeah.
week 3 here we got.
Yeah. Who do you like in this SEC matchup?
This game has became very intriguing, Clark.
I know.
I wish it was in Nashville.
Me
I wish
too.
it was in
Me
Nashville,
too.
man. And did you happen to see what Vanderbilt did to Virginia Tech in the second half?
I didn't watch it,
Lord.
but I've heard about it. Yeah.
Down by 10, man. That's a
Right.
different program. Clark Lee's done a heck of a job. Man, it's just, if it was in Nashville, no brainer. I'm going Vanderbilt winning.
Really?
And I mean, obviously, they both have a common opponent, which is rare this early in the season, week 3. But both of them play Virginia Tech, and Carolina struggled, pulled, kind of got the game in hand in a neutral site in Atlanta in week 1. Vanderbilt went in the second half and just absolutely, man, I can't believe I'm saying this, but manhandled Virginia Tech and imposed their will in the second half in Blacksburg.
Yeah.
I think South Carolina barely wins, but I really want to pick Vanderbilt, and I'm really pulling for Vanderbilt to win. And no, Vanderbilt's going to win. Go on the road. Big, big road win for Clark Lee.
Okay. All right. You heard it here first.
I don't believe in Mike Shula, the offensive coordinator, being, I think since, what's his name, Dow Loggins left last year, a guy who really, I think, had Lenore Sellers kind of humming there. Mm-hmm. Since Mike Shula's took over play calling, I think that South Carolina offense has struggled a little bit. Yeah. And Vandy's offense is kind of heating up after that second half. Diego Pavia, you best believe he's going to go in the.
Well, that's the thing, man. Carolina Willie B. That's one of the most intimidating
Who you
environments
got, Clark?
you'll ever walk into. Diego, once like you just said, not afraid to go on the road, not afraid to play in front of a big time crowd. I like Diego Pavia when he's not playing Georgia. I don't think has he even played Georgia?
No, he never has.
Well, then I like him. And I think that he's going to beat South Carolina too. I'm taking Vandy with the upset.
Right,
Why
deal.
not?
Why not?
Especially knowing that you took that as well. So I think there's only one game we differed on.
The Doors logo.
Oh yeah, Anchor Down.
Anchor Down. Yeah.
No. That's Vol for
that's
life.
Anchor Down. No.
I don't know. Who cares? No, I'm not doing that. No, this is Anchor Down.
That's Anchor Down.
But now
That's right.
I'm not going to do the Vol for life.
Cold
but it's
light
close.
hand gestures.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Stupid. Clemson has their little paw. They do this. The U.
Horn Frog.
Horn Frog.
The
NC
Bulls
State.
of South Florida. NC State.
NC State. The Bulls. What
The Bulls of South Florida. I
they
think
just do that
their
number?
horns are a little bit more
inward?
Yeah.
And then the Longhorns, Texas, right?
Yeah.
Are we missing any?
Not just right off
how
the
did we
rip.
get here?
Yeah.
Oh, man, this has been a great episode. And we're going to wrap it up here. We've got a score prediction coming up. But first, if you've enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review here on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. If you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and comment below what your score prediction is for the Georgia versus Tennessee game. If you're coming to Knoxville this weekend, get your
Buckle
tetanus
up.
shot. Get your updated rabies shot. Wear your protective gear. It's going to be a madhouse, people. Whether we win or lose, those people are hostile. I'm just kidding. There are very few out there that are very nice and respectful people. But aside from that, they're crazy people. They're hillbillies. You don't want to mess with them. They're scary.
They love their Tennessee football. You got to give
They
it to
do.
them.
They are honestly, I think across the board, they're one of, if not arguably the most loyal fan base out there.
Oh, absolutely, man. They get loud. That stadium gets loud. And how it's a bowl, it traps sound in there, man. And there's no doubt it'll be one of the loudest that we've seen there in a very long time because it's early in the year. We're playing them where they still have all their championship hopes around. Right. So they're going to be believing. They're going to be drinking the Kool-Aid. So it's going to be a rowdy environment. One of the top, just most miserable places to witness a Georgia loss is Neyland Stadium. And thankfully, it's been a long time since we've seen that. Hopefully, it'll continue to be a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. All righty, folks, let's go to a score prediction here. Adam, I got us winning a close game, 30-24. I do think they get over the hump of the 17-point mark, but I don't necessarily think it's going to be 24 offensive points. I do think there's going to be special teams play, a defensive play that gets them over that 17-point mark that they haven't been able to get to. But your Georgia Bulldogs somehow get 30 points. That's what I'm going with. 6-point victory for the Dogs. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's a blowout and we just absolutely destroy them. But that's what I feel comfortable with.
Love it, Clark.
Yep.
I'm fired up, man. God, this is great. This is great. Neyland Stadium, honestly, Clark, I have some of my best childhood memories in the sense of you think about, of course, the hobnail boot, but ones that really stand out to me is Sean Jones scoop and score in a 41-14 Munson's classic call right there against Tennessee when they were still really in their prime, their heyday under Philip Fulmer. 2005, that SEC championship team going up there with Thomas Flowers and a massive punt return to Mario Minner. Big interception against Rick Clausen in the end zone right there. You think about the 41-0 just beat down in 2017 that happened, Clark. The 2013 game where we lost to everybody and their brother, and we beat them in overtime up there. And so many great memories against Tennessee, a team that I hate, Clark. Not only in Knoxville, but in Athens as well. We've had some good ones. And I say all that to say, this will be the last time you'll see Georgia play Tennessee and Neyland for a few years with this new SEC schedule. And it'll be the last time that Georgia, Clark, will be playing Tennessee every year, I believe. How the new SEC schedule is looking like it's going to shape up. I think this is going to be the rivalry game that's going to be on the schedule that you're not going to get every single year. So the last thing we need is for Tennessee to have bragging rights over the last time that Georgia and Tennessee met. Tennessee got the win, especially in Neyland Stadium, man. I'm juiced about this. I think this team is in the perfect spot where Kirby Smart thrives the most from a motivational standpoint during practice in that Butts-Mehre building. I love where Georgia's at right now. I think we're going to see some special things on offense in the sense that we didn't see the first 2 weeks, that when the lights are on in this SEC play, this offense is going to step up. At least that's what our hope is going to be because we love Georgia football. So get behind Gunner Stockton. Get behind Mike Bobo. Get behind this football team, whether you're in Knoxville, Tennessee, amongst all that ugly orange and white, man, or if you're back home with your family and friends, get juiced about this game because the run starts here, Clark.
Let's do it.
This is where the run starts right now, man. This is going to be an exciting game. The nation right now is against Georgia. Just a familiar thing, a familiar thing against Tennessee for Georgia to be in this predicament. But I'm ready to roll. Georgia's going to win this football game 24-17. Nice. We love y'all, baby. It's time to let the big dog eat. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.